ESPN presents College Basketball 83. From the Omni in Atlanta, it's ACC semifinal round tournament action between the North Carolina Tar Heels and the North Carolina State Wolfpack.
It's the Tar Heels of North Carolina, a record of 26-6, winners of 5 in a row against the Wolfpack of North Carolina State, a team with an 18-10 record, winners of 9 of their last 12. Dean Smith in his 22nd year, Coach Jim Valvano of the Wolfpack in his 3rd season. North Carolina getting here by defeating Clemson yesterday 105-75 or 79, and the Wolfpack beat Wake Forest 71-70. On the year they look like this, Dick, statistically.
You look at the stats right there, John. North Carolina has the edge 51%. The stat I like is that they only allow their opposition to shoot 43%. And anytime you do that, you got a chance for victory.
And for the Wolfpack people who were wondering, as you mentioned in the open, Sam Perkins will not only play for Dean Smith, he will start today.
Well, he demonstrated during the warm-up, John. He was getting a real sweat, and he was running up and down the floor, and he just looked like he had a lot of intensity on his face for a guy that wasn't going to play. I knew he definitely would play.
Now the starting lineup for
Atlantic Coast Conference basketball tournament. Now here are the starting lineup for today's first game. At forward, for North Carolina State, number 41, Thurl Bailey. At forward, for North Carolina, number 41, Sam Perkins. At forward, for NC State, number 43, Lorenzo Charles. At forward for North Carolina, number 44, Matt Doherty. At center for NC State, number 45, Cozell McQueen. At center for North Carolina, number 42, Brad Daugherty. At guard for North Carolina State, number 35, Sidney Lowe. At guard for North Carolina, number 24, Jim Braddock. At guard for NC State, number 25, Derek Wittenberg. At guard for North Carolina, number 23, Michael Jordan. The coach of North Carolina State is Jim Valvano. The coach of North Carolina is Dean Smith.
And so the stage is set. A packed house at the Omni in Atlanta. It holds over 16,000. The hometown folks enjoyed last night when Georgia Tech pulled off the shocker, defeating Maryland. This year, North Carolina beating North Carolina State 99-81. But then, North Carolina State turned the tables in the second game. Won in Raleigh. Should reverse the score. It was 70-63. State a winner in that contest.
Yeah, they played outstanding basketball that day. North Carolina State fell behind. It was a technical, a double technical, and she's all ready to go, a Wolfpack fan. And they were able to come back after those technicals, sparked by Sidney Lowe. And Ernie Myers played a great game, John, and they got out with the victory. That was the first win by Jimmy Valvano over Dean Smith.
There is Sam Perkins. He will start the game this afternoon. Did not play at all yesterday. Picking up the slack was Matt Doherty, who had 28 points, along with Michael Jordan, who had 28. For the Wolfpack, it was Thurl Bailey with 25 points. Different type game. North Carolina State in a tough one against Wake Forest. North Carolina was an easy winner over Clemson. We are underway here at the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia. Sidney Lowe is number 35 with the basketball. This is Wittenberg, who missed part of the season, total of 14 games. Bailey out in front.
And not only is Perkins playing, he's matched up right now on Bailey. We're looking at two surefire NBA players there.
First foul of the ball game will go on Michael Jordan. Jordan picking up the foul.
You know, John, as we look at Jimmy Valvano right there, that was one of the major problems in their first meeting when they met, as there's the last tournament meeting between both clubs. Jordan fouled out with 5 minutes to go in the game, and you know how valuable he is down the stretch.
Sidney Lowe key the inbound play. Cozell McQueen is number 45. Wittenberg to Bailey.
They should go right inside at Perkins and test him immediately and go to Bailey.
Wittenberg stolen by Perkins. Braddock comes up with it. 3-on-1. Here's Perkins. He'll pull it up for the jumper. Missed the shot. Matt Doherty's going to be called for the foul on the rebound.
Well, John, the thing I was watching right there was the way, as we look at Doherty there, I was watching the way that Perkins went up and squared up on his jump shot, and he did not seem to be favoring that foot at all.
It is a sprained toe that has been his problem. It happened 1 week ago in the regular season final game against Duke.
Well, that toe's received a lot of attention here in Atlanta in the newspapers.
Wittenberg on a drive. Knocked away from behind. Perkins has it. Again, it was Michael Jordan who made the deflection. Carolina has it. We do not have a basket yet. We've played just about a minute. Inside. Brad Doherty is fouled.
Nice pass right there by Sam Perkins in a high-low setup as Dean Smith leads some cheers. Gets a good entry down to Doherty. There's Perkins with the high-low action. Good pass down low to Doherty. Doherty goes up strong and draws the foul. Just turned. This kid is 17 years of age. He'll be 16 when the season starts.
He hits the first one, and we have our first point of this first semifinal game. Georgia Tech and Virginia to follow. Doherty shooting almost 55% from the field and also shooting well at the line. He hits both.
Here comes Dean changing defenses right now. Full court man-to-man pressure. And then they just back away. They look to rotate into some double teams out of this, John.
Tar Heels leading 2-0. Charles with it. He hit the winning free throw in the victory yesterday for North Carolina State. Low drives the lane, scoop shot no good, tip try no good by Charles. They're still battling. Charles fighting, missed again, gets it back a third time, and he's fouled.
Tremendous effort right here by Lorenzo Charles from out of Brooklyn, New York. Perkins raises his hand. There's the foul on number 41. There's Charles. He goes up one time. He doesn't get any luck. He goes number 2, number 3. This is great for all you kids to watch. Look at a great effort. 5 times, and he's still battling just like he did in the streets of New York City. They're proud of you right now, Lorenzo.
He will go to the line where he won the game yesterday, shooting 67.6%. He is from Brooklyn, New York, a sophomore. He hits his first one.
He's getting better and better with each game. He's starting to really improve. He knows his role on the floor. It's to be an attacker on the glass.
You can see what he's done in his last 6 games. State has won 9 of their last 12. We're tied at 2. Full court pressure by North Carolina State. It's broken by the Tar Heels. Doherty with a 3-point shot. It's short. Thorough Bailey rebounds for the Wolfpack. Here comes Sidney Lowe. His jumper good. State takes the lead.
Sidney Lowe's usually the guy that's passing or dishing the ball off, but that time he pulls up and sticks the 3-pointer.
A 2-point lead.
Sorry, it was
for
a 2-pointer.
State. Yes, it was. Braddock out in front. Doherty, who had 28 in the opening round victory. Jordan, a 3-pointer, no good. Charles rebounds and slapped away by Perkins. North Carolina State will control 17:59 to go first half. Wolfpack 4, the Tar Heels 2.
Well, you know, John, Jimmy Valvano is going to fight fire with fire, which I think is an excellent strategy. He's going to also utilize zone pressure, half-court pressure, to attack a team that likes to attack you.
They swing it around that North Carolina zone all the way back to Lowe.
It's a 1-3-1 zone right now by Carolina.
Bailey's jumper, good, a 3-pointer by Thorough Bailey. 7-2, North Carolina State.
That's the flexibility I was talking about in Bailey's game. He can go inside and outside.
17:30 to play in the half. Wittenberg picks up the foul going over the top of Michael Jordan.
Look at Jimmy Valvano. I could read his lips. He said he didn't touch him. He didn't touch him. Give us a break. No, he's only mugging him. He's not touching him, Jimmy. He's mugging him. He's giving him a New York beating right there, and Jimmy says he didn't touch him.
Jim Valvano in his 3rd year at Raleigh. Braddock out in front. Goes inside Perkins. Soft left-hand shot, no good. Followed by Brad Doherty, good.
Nobody blocked out Doherty. One of the real techniques that is missing in college basketball, blocking out and bodying up on a player.
NC State up by 3. Doherty has all 4 North Carolina points so far. Here is Charles in the corner. Lowe starts a move, goes to Wittenberg. Here's Lowe, 3-point shot. It's short. Michael Jordan comes up with a rebound. Braddock will lead it up for the Tar Heels. Perkins Turn around, no good, too hard. McQueen with the rebound, and back come the Wolfpack. Inside, basket is good. Derek Wittenberg.
Excellent transition basketball right there. Sidney Lowe to Derek Wittenberg. They've been doing it for 8 years. 4 in high school and now 4 in the collegiate level.
Here's Perkins again. He has not hit a shot yet. McQueen again. State will run. Wittenberg, jumper. Too hard off the glass. Bailey can't control. Doherty comes up with it for the Tar Heels. Here's Matt Doherty. Good, his first 2 points.
Jimmy Braddock did a good job of running that ball up the floor to Matt Doherty, and kid from out of Long Island, New York, sticks the 12-footer. I really like Jimmy Braddock. He's an underrated player as we watch Braddock running it up. There's 44, good head fake. Gets the defensive player to leave his feet, Lorenzo Charles, and he sticks the open jump shot.
9-6, the Wolfpack on top by 3. Perkins is 0 for 4 in the early going from the field.
Curtis Hunter's on the floor, a freshman who's really playing some good basketball now from out of Durham, North Carolina, number 43.
Hunter had 10 points in that opening game yesterday. Bailey hits again. He is really on a hot streak.
Well, I'll tell you, Bailey's stock is going up and up. He's like the stock market. It's fluctuated a little bit. He's a Dow Joneser as a player, but it is really rising right now.
Bailey has 5. His team leads by 5. It's 11-6. This is Curtis Hunter, the freshman. Brad Doherty turns around. Nobody there. Go back to Hunter. He'll take it in the lane and jump it up short. McQueen again with a rebound. Sidney Lowe leads the Wolfpack up. He'll jump. Miss. Gets it back. Goes inside. Bailey off the glass and good.
What a great play right there by Sidney Lowe. He misses the three-point play as Valvano signaling the defensive change. Gets the rebound and then throws a sharp interior bounce pass to McQueen. Great play by Sidney Lowe.
Hunter. Short. Matt Doherty goes up. Lays it in and he's fouled by Bailey.
Very intelligent play right there, John, by Matt Doherty. Gave a double head fake. There he is getting the offensive board once, twice. Gets the defensive player, Bailey, to release, lays it with the left hand, protects the ball, and gets fouled.
Michael Jordan back in the lineup now, replacing Curtis Hunter.
Well, you know, Bailey committed that cardinal sin. You're never supposed to leave your feet. How many times we hear coaches echo that?
Almost a 78% foul shooter, hits it.
He's a better shooter than 42%, and he had one segment of the year where he really was at a slump.
14:54 remaining first half. North Carolina State 13, North Carolina 9. We'll be back. North Carolina State playing here for a chance to move into the ACC Championship Finals, and we'll have it for you right here on your Total Sports Network. Sunday, March 13th, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific time from the Omni. Dick Vitale and Jim Simpson will be here for that championship game. Will it be the Wolfpack, the Tar Heels, the Yellow Jackets, or the Cavaliers? We'll find out today.
You know, everybody's got the dream match, Ralph Sampson versus Michael Jordan. There's been so many people arguing about the Player of the Year award, even though right now Ralph has been the recipient of the Naismith Award, and everybody's got that dream match. As we take a look at a pass, what a great pass right inside to Bailey right there by Sidney Lowe. But, you know, it's really interesting. Somebody better watch out because Jimmy Valvano is planning on spoiling that party.
His team is out on top right now. Pressure, full court pressure by North Carolina. The Tar Heels almost got a steal. Michael Jordan says, no, I didn't touch it last.
There's Dean Smith right there up and down the sideline, going into the Hall of Fame, and deservedly so. He's been such a tremendous credit to college basketball, and his record speaks for itself. But I was going to tell you, John, 10 ACC titles. As we look right here, State 36-21 in ACC tournament play. 7 times to the Final Four, NCAA, NIT championships, gold medal. You name it, he's done it all.
Braddock penetrates off the glass and good. Braddock with some penetration that time.
He's done a great job of replacing Jimmy Black, who was an unheralded player last year, one of the better point guards in America. And Braddock had some tough shoes to fill, and he's done it.
This is Thurl Bailey. He has 7 points so far. Wittenberg swings it to Lowe. Back to Derek. They go inside to Bailey against Perkins. 41 against 41. Should be a great matchup. Long-range jumper. Wittenberg, no good. Perkins rebound. State leading by 2. Carolina trying to tie. Brad Doherty along the baseline. It falls.
Brad Doherty posted up really strong inside, turns number 42, goes to the basket with authority, and we got ourselves a tie ball game, 13-13.
13 minutes and 47 seconds left in the first half. Charles with it.
Jordan's really playing Wittenberg tough right now, trying to take away the three-point effectiveness of Derek, is a great long-range shooter.
Charles against Doherty. Tries to go to the baseline, has to come back outside. A three-pointer. Sidney Lowe has 5.
Really surprising. Sidney really doesn't shoot that as often as naturally a Wittenberg, but they're giving him the three-point shot, and he's taking advantage of it.
He has 38 three-pointers on the year. Perkins outside. 3-point lead for North Carolina State. Sam gets it back. Soft left-hand shot. He hits his first one of the afternoon. Perkins on the board.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know if he's at 100%, but he's certainly playing this game. It's not a token appearance. He definitely has the agility, and he wants to be involved in the offense.
McQueen with it. They come back outside to Lowe to Wittenberg. They swing it all the way to Bailey. Now inside. Charles. It was blocked by both Perkins and Doherty and goes out of bounds.
But Doherty says, hey, I may be 17, I may be a freshman, but I'm 6'11", and I own the lane right now. Get it out of here.
And he'll take a break as Martin comes in to replace him. Ernie Myers, number 31, checks into the lineup for State. And Terry Gannon, who can light it up from outside, number 24. You see the shot clock?
Gannon shooting 48 for 83 from three-point range. That's better than 50%.
Here's Lowe. Myers misses everything, goes out of bounds.
Myers is an outstanding scorer. He's not what you would call a great shooter, 31 from out of New York City. He's averaging over 14 points a game, and he's had games, John, with 28, 31, 25. He can score.
Chance for Carolina to take the lead. They've led only once at 2-0 early in the game. Warren Martin to Perkins. Now Doherty will run the offense. About 11 seconds on the shot clock. 7 seconds. Perkins turnaround, too hard. Tip try by Martin, no good. Carolina gets it back. Michael Jordan coming up with it.
Valvano's officiating on the side. He wanted to travel it right there on Jordan.
Perkins, left-hand hook, no good. Martin rebounds. He misses. Perkins follows. He misses. Tipped up again. Still they battle. Finally, Bailey has it for North Carolina State.
Well, that's no place for weak people inside. It's no place for the timid. They really were banging and crashing and hitting the glass. But they came up without anything, North Carolina.
Still a 1-point lead for State. 3-point shot, good. Sidney Lowe now with 8 points.
You know, I didn't realize that Sidney Lowe is 39 for 103 from three-point range, and everybody says that's the rap on him. He can't shoot from 17 to 18 feet. He's a great handler, a passer, but not a shooter.
He has 2 3-pointers. His team up by 4. Here's Perkins, can't get it off. Lowe comes up with it. 4 on 2 for North Carolina State. And then it's stolen by Michael Jordan. He'll jump it up. Missed. Doherty can't follow. State has the ball.
I believe they've shut Jordan out right now. I don't think he's had a point.
You're right. He does not have a point. State up by 4, 19-15, 10 minutes and 45 seconds left first half. Gannon tries to go inside. We have a break in the action. 10:42 left in the first half. North Carolina State leading the Tar Heels 19-15. From the best of the ACC to the best of the NBA here on ESPN. Sunday, March 13th, 7:20 Eastern Time, 4:20 Pacific Time, live right here on your Total Sports Network. We'll be at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Now, what a year the Philadelphia 76ers are having. They'll take on the Washington Bullets. Is that the best basketball team in the history of the NBA?
Well, I don't know about the history of the NBA because at L.A. when they had Elgin and they had Wilt Chamberlain and Jerry West, they had a fair basketball team, but they're going to be mighty tough to beat. Moses Malone has been devastating. He plays every game like it's for the Super Bowl. I mean, this guy just comes to play and really works and works. He's a credit to a uniform. And Dr. J, what can you say except that he's the most scintillating performer probably to play in the last decade. 2
changes in the lineup. Hale is in the lineup now, along with Hunter for North Carolina.
Field goals right there, 7 for 17 for State. And Carolina, which really is accustomed to shooting over 50%, shooting 33%, 6 for 18.
Gannon goes inside off the glass. The shot is no good. McQueen could not get it to fall. This is Hale. He's a freshman from Jenks, Oklahoma.
Good move by Dean Smith, taking Michael Jordan out for a moment or two just to get himself regrouped and get him into the flow of the game offensively, as he has not scored, and he's the leading scorer in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Hunter, short. Doherty rebounds. Martin finally comes up with it. Both of the Tar Heels were there. They get it back, a new 30 on the clock.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Curtis Hunter's not bashful, John. He comes in, as soon as he touches that rock, it's going to the glass.
Here's Martin. He'll take it in.
Oh, Warren Martin with a great move. The kids love him. He's Mr. Popularity. They love him at the Four Corners down at Chapel Hill. He's absolutely one of the favorite players in the Carolina uniform.
2-point lead for State. Myers with it. Spinning against Doherty. Forces his way up. And he drew the foul in the process. Matt has picked up his second personal foul.
Myers has got the great one-on-one moves. He gets isolated right here. He looks at Doherty. He whirls on him. He says, "You're from Long Island. I'm from New York City. You're not going to stop me, Matt Doherty." And he takes it right to the goal and gets fouled.
9:34 to play first half. North Carolina State leading by 2. Tar Heels with 5 team fouls. The Wolfpack with 3. Two shots now for Myers.
I really believe that Ernie Myers is going to be one of your big scorers in the ACC. He just has to learn shot selection, get a little bit more consistent in his game. There's the official right now. Jimmy's nodding his head. He's inviting him to a nice spaghetti dinner for after the game.
Missed them both. So Myers 0 for 2 at the foul line. Carolina coming up with a chance to tie.
He's one of those kids, Myers, who scores points in bunches.
Martin. He missed the jam, but it still fell in.
Well, he doesn't have the great quick jumping ability, but he makes his presence known in a few minutes he plays on the floor. He doesn't hurt the basketball team. He's a role player.
It is 19-19. We are tied. We were tied at 13 earlier.
Jordan's back in the game.
Low. Scoop shot, no good. Fouled inside on Jimmy Braddock. Braddock picking up his first foul. Here's Bailey. Sam Perkins back in the lineup. Warren Martin, who just scored the last 2 baskets to tie the game, will sit down.
Yeah, Dean gets the most out of his people. He knows he got plus basketball out of Warren. Now's the time to take him out. He's confident at this moment. Takes him out of the game. And there's my All-Atlantic Coast Conference point guard. And a lot of people said, how can you pick him over Othell Wilson? Sidney Lowe has been Mr. Consistency. Do you realize this? He handles the basketball, turns it over at less than a 2 turnover ratio in his career. He's absolutely a great player with the ball, and he plays 37 minutes a game and handles it most of the time. That is pressure performance.
And the senior from Washington, D.C. has 10. 21-19. Again, State out by 2. Here's Michael Jordan way outside.
ACC, I really believe 4 of the 5 are on the floor right now. Bailey, Lowe, Jordan, Perkins.
Lorenzo Charles picks up his first personal foul. Lorenzo's got good size. He's 6'7", 225.
Charles is a big, strong player. They're active in the zone right now. And Charles, he's going to take your head off, boy. And I tell you, he's not afraid to mix it up. You know, there's a 5th one missing. Who would possibly be the 5th guy on that All-ACC team?
Well, you would know, wouldn't you?
There's a fair player. He plays in the middle for Virginia. He's played a little college basketball. We're talking none other than Mr. Ralph Sampson.
He'll get a lot of votes. Missed the second. He's 3 for 4. Brad Doherty has 7. It's 21-20.
Doherty's doing a good job here today. He's really active, and he's given him a lot of help, especially scoring, since Jordan's been quieted here today.
McQueen against Doherty. Left-hand shot is short. He gets it back, tries again. No good. There's Perkins. North Carolina with a chance to take the lead. Perkins, a 3-pointer, hit it.
Sam Perkins right now, I think, feels like $1 million with that 3-pointer going down. He said, forget about the toe. I'm here to play. I want to perform. I don't want to make any excuses.
North Carolina on top, 23-21. Here is Sidney Lowe. Perkins comes out to get him.
Perkins did a great job of what we call defensively hedging right there, giving some help on a guard.
Now it's Bailey against Perkins in the corner. Lowe takes it to the hoop. It's rejected by Doherty. Here comes Braddock. He'll take it all the way and scores.
Nice move by Jimmy Braddock. He hesitates, glides to the basket, lays it up as the defensive player goes off the floor. You got to get a timeout if you're Jimmy Valvano. Yes, they are getting a timeout right here, and it Hank Nichols is telling him in a nice way, sit down, Mr. Valvano, or I'm going to hit you with a tee.
The Tar Heels have come on to grab the lead. It's North Carolina 25, North Carolina State 21. Good lineup coming up on our next top-ranked boxing card. It's Wednesday, March 16th, 8:30 Eastern Time, 5:30 Pacific Time, live right here on ESPN from the Sands Hotel. It'll be Billy Collins against Steve Johnson. That's a 10-round junior middleweight matchup. Also a 10-round junior middleweight bout between Herb Willens and Dennis Horn. Lots of action, boxing right here on ESPN. Well, pretty good little match going on right here.
Well, as I was going to say, Sal Marciano calling that action. Sweet Prince, good night. I wonder who's going to get the Sweet Prince good night punch right here today. I'm going to let you predict that. I'm not.
Nobody at this point. Carolina has just taken a 1-point lead on a 3-point shot by who else? Michael Jordan, who's really getting into the flow of it. He had 5 points late in the first half. He has 8 in the second half, 13 for the afternoon.
It's going to be quite an adjustment, John, for these clubs to have to go play an NCAA tournament action without the 3-point play and also without the clock.
Jim Braddock. Bailey quickly out to stop his 3-point attempt. Perkins with it.
They really have given Wittenberg a long rest. He's 2 for 9 here tonight offensively.
Matt Doherty will use the glass, doesn't get it there. Loose ball inside. Jordan stripped from him. Gannon comes up with it. Gets it to McQueen.
Very dangerous pass, throwing it across laterally under the basket.
State can regain the lead. Thurl, Bailey outside against Sam Perkins.
You're looking at a lot of talent right there. The 241s can play, and they're 2 class kids.
9 minutes and 51 seconds left.
I'm going to get a little sentimental with you right now. 2 just really warm players.
McQueen again.
Hey, I tell you, Cosell McQueen is starting to look over. He said, I'm no 3-point scorer, Dick Vitale. I can score. Just tell him to give me the ball.
61-60. Perkins had an idea, did not shoot. Matt Doherty will. He'll come up short on the front of the rim. Low rebounds for State. Sidney Lowe all over the court. Here he comes. Now he'll set up the offense.
Carolina State will not allow Carolina to get one of their patented 8-1, 9-1 spurts on them.
Gannon against Doherty. Or excuse me, against Braddock. Charles, turnaround, blocked by Brad Doherty.
Brad Doherty really has played a solid game here today.
3-on-2. Sidney Lowe really hammered Jimmy Braddock that time.
Let's hope it's not the eye. Let's hope it's maybe the cheek. Take a look at it right here. Here comes Braddock up the floor. There's Sidney Lowe challenging him right here. Goes to slap at the ball and catches him with his, I believe, left hand. He slapped with the right, but I thought it was the left hand that might have caught him. Seems to be okay.
He's fighting it off. He'll stay in.
You know, North Carolina suffered a real tough break when they lost an excellent performer, and Buzz Peterson, who went out with knee surgery, was injured in the Virginia game, and he gave him such a long threat as a scorer coming off the bench.
Inside, Jordan blocked. Bailey blocked it. Perkins scores.
Boy, he might have got away with one right there. He might have shuffled his feet. Naturally, the North Carolina bench as they all stand, love what they see. Relax, Dean. It's only a game. Don't take it so serious.
That is 4 personal fouls on Thurl Bailey.
We take a look at it right here. There's the ball inside. Jordan going to try to perform some miracle action there. And there's Perkins with 2-3 head fakes. Turns, looks at the official and says, blow that whistle. I didn't see the walk. Good call by the official.
Thurl Bailey is in foul trouble. Perkins completes the 3-point play. 21 points for Sam Perkins, and he has 14 in the second half.
You know, John, he shoots over 83% from the free throw line. He's got such a beautiful touch for a kid about 6'9 and a half. There's the matchup between the 2 NBA future standouts, Perkins and Bailey.
Bailey in foul trouble. And Sam Perkins is coming on in the second half. Did not play yesterday at all. He is playing this afternoon. A 2-point lead for North Carolina. Gannon loses the ball, gets it back.
I look for Wittenberg to get back in the game shortly. I think he's been out long enough, and that they'll get him on the floor.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Gannon off the glass and good.
Well, Terry Gannon says, no, Dick Vitale. I'm going to make him sit because I want to play. And he takes the ball to the glass, lays it up there. Joliet, Illinois. Mighty proud of Mr. Gannon.
We are tied again at 63. Matt Doherty outside. Braddock looking for Jordan coming across. Nothing going.
They got to go down inside to Jordan. He's being played by Gannon right now. They should post him inside, reverse the ball, and take it to him.
Three-pointer from Matt Doherty is short. Sidney Lowe with the rebound. Back comes the Wolfpack 3-on-2. Braddock forced him outside that time.
That would really be an NC or a no contest if they got the ball over to Jordan down low against Terry Gannon.
Proctor's shot is blocked by Perkins. And Proctor is down.
Looked like he twisted that knee. He's got a brace on it to start with.
Proctor is in pain.
He's played well here in a few minutes he's been on the floor. I know Dick O'Connell, his coach at Rutgers Prep, would be mighty proud of the young man. He's really performed in an excellent fashion here.
The Wolfpack and the Tar Heels are even at 63. We still have 7 minutes and 36 seconds of basketball left, so don't go away. We'll be right back. .7:36 to play, a tie ball game. They're working on Dinky Proctor. Here's what happened to Dinky as he went up inside, spinning move, ran into a lot of traffic. Perkins will come in from behind to block the shot. Let's see if we can see. His knee just kind of gives way on him as he goes down, Dick.
Yes, it just looks like it collapsed on him. There's no doubt he had a previous problem or he wouldn't have that brace on there. He whirls, he spins on a baseline, goes up, and then when he hits, just collapsed on him, just absolutely collapsed on him, and he grabs it immediately as it's obvious he's in a little pain right there.
Dinky Proctor is being helped off. He goes off with the trainer, Craig Sink, the official.
A lot of sweat and a lot of pain on his face. That tells the whole story. Played a good game here today. In a few minutes he was on the floor. You take another look at it, another angle, turning, twisting, coming down. Look at the left leg. Immediately bends as he makes contact to the floor. Didn't see any kind of real twisting action.
He's upset because he knows he's probably through for the afternoon.
Yes, and especially, you know, he hasn't played much at all. He's got very limited time all year long, and today he goes on the floor, really contributed, helped his club in a solid few minutes while he's out there, and the kid naturally wants to stay out.
Dean Smith says, let's go, I'm ready. The Tar Heels are back on the court, 7:36 to play. Stay with us because it's 63-63. We're going to have a good one going down the stretch, Dick.
Well, it's been good right from the outset, from the warm-ups to the hotel lobbies. It started. It's definitely lived up to its billing.
Now, there's no atmosphere like ACC tournament basketball. Toughest ticket around.
They'll fight with you on that out the Southeastern Conference in the Big East.
Of course they will.
I guess, you know, really postseason play and all these conferences right now, there's so much enthusiasm and excitement, and you got so many good teams across America.
Gannon has it. Top of the circle in the lane. Shot won't fall. Brad Doherty for North Carolina finally runs the ball down.
Well, Brad Doherty's been a real horse here on the floor.
Jim Braddock will run the offense. Here's Matt Doherty. Perkins. Baseline jumper no good. Brad Doherty goes up. Missed the shot. Drew the foul.
Well, Brad Doherty's getting good position on the floor. He's really using his 6'11" frame properly, and he's getting excellent position, and naturally it leads to opportunities like this.
Sidney Lowe has now picked up his third foul. Let's watch it.
There's Sam Perkins. He's shocked that he's that wide open. That usually goes down 9 out of 10 times, and nobody blocks Doherty out. Should have really converted that.
He does not convert the first foul shot. Doherty 3 out of 5 at the foul line. Thurl Bailey with 4 personals back in to replace Gannon. The Wolfpack ready for a run now with 7 minutes to play.
Well, there's no time like right now, because you don't do it now, you might get out the baseball bats and start baseball training.
1 out of 2 for Brad Doherty. He has 12. Full court pressure by North Carolina.
Remember, these 7 minutes are vital to Jimmy Valvano and North Carolina State and their hopes for an NCAA berth. They must get a victory here today to have, I think, a real shot for the NCAA tournament. In fact, one here, I think, applies the knockout punch, as I said in the opener, to the committee. I think 19 wins, Wittenberg back in action, they'll get a bid. But I think a loss here, it's up for a jury for discussion.
Sidney Lowe starts a drive, gives to Wittenberg. Comes up short. Perkins battling Charles. Charles wins that battle, and he's fouled by Michael Jordan, I believe. And Jordan could have just picked up his 4th personal foul.
There's the jumper by Wittenberg. Charles has already established good position. He's got the wide body, 43. He's between Perkins and Doherty, but Jordan gets him from behind, number 23. Take another look, another angle. There's the jumper, 25. Shooting it, Wittenberg. Look at the inside position by 43. Charles, he's not afraid. He's going to take it right at him, and Jordan comes from behind and makes a foul. Really a silly foul, getting him from behind like that.
Charles is 5 for 5 at the line. The sophomore from Brooklyn has 13 points. Very well-built, strong young man, and when he gets inside, you can't move him.
Well, he had a great preseason practice. They thought he was going to be a lock on a starting job and really contribute greatly, but he's been inconsistent most of the year, except now, down the stretch, he seems to find himself. It could be some confidence has really been restored to his game.
State is up by 1. Braddock, three-pointer, no good. Thurl Bailey with a rebound.
And Jordan almost was caught for number 5. Look at a steal by Perkins.
Perkins will take it in, missed the shot, and then Sam commits a foul.
That's usually inevitable. You miss the short shot right there, and then you climb back. There's Jordan now reaching in, taking a chance with 4 fouls. Silly play by Michael. Here comes Sam Perkins on the steal. Good anticipation by Sam, but then he hooks Thurl Bailey.
Nobody challenged him. He was too wide open as he went up for the jumper. 6 minutes to play. 1 point lead for State.
Somebody better tell Michael Jordan he's got 4, and that this club needs him down the stretch. Last time in a victory by North Carolina State, he was on the sideline, John, the last 5 minutes.
Matt Doherty picks up the foul. That's his 3rd.
They had some fouls to give, but I don't know if you want to give them this early. They could have really ran it down a little bit more on the clock and really reaching in, just unnecessary fouling.
1 point lead for North Carolina State. The Wolfpack with the ball. McQueen, Wittenberg, no good. Charles right there. He traveled.
Well, that's pure intimidation by Sam Perkins, the All-American out of North Carolina. Charles shakes his head. Again, he's establishing good position. There's Wittenberg. He can't find the range here today, Derek. And there is Charles with the great rebound. He looks, and there's Sam Perkins, long arms, and he caused the walk-in violation. 1 more minute, and the clock is turned off.
That'll be interesting.
Well, free throw shooting could win it, and right now, North Carolina is a much better team, free throw shooting team than North Carolina State.
Brad Doherty. They swing it back to Braddock at the top of the circle. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Matt Doherty's going to have to put it up. 3 seconds. He'll shoot it off balance off the front of the rim. Sidney Lowe coming in to pick off the rebound.
Well, I'm sure Dean didn't want that kind of shot.
Thurl Bailey.
And then they convert it on the other end as Bailey goes coast to coast, gets open. They throw him the ball, and he converts and scores.
4 minutes and 57 seconds left. Terry Holland and Virginia getting set for the second game, and we've got the finish here. It is North Carolina State by 3. Welcome back to the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia. We are live here on ESPN. I'm John Sanders along with Dick Vitale. Less than 5 minutes to play, Dick. State up by 3. They've got some intensity. They've got a chance here maybe to crack through against North Carolina.
Well, they're out here to try to ruin that. They want to ruin that dream party that everybody has planned for tomorrow between North Carolina and Virginia. And the way they're playing right now, they look like a club that will not be denied. They're playing outstanding basketball on both ends of the floor in a team concept. There's an ice pack right now on Dickie Proctor, who was injured a few minutes ago.
North Carolina brings it up. They did not get a good shot there last time down.
Well, the last 3 possessions, I'm charting them here, they did not score in their offensive efficiency rating. They need a score here.
Jordan to Braddock. Good pressure from State. Jordan gets it back with 9 seconds on the shot clock. Michael's going to have to do something with the ball. He does. Short with a jumper. Gannon has it for North Carolina State.
Well, the last 2 possessions, you had the desperate jump shot by Doherty, and then you just had the one there, one-on-one by Jordan. They didn't get it in the flow of Dean's philosophy in his offensive set.
This is the last time the clock will be a factor. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. We're counting down towards 4 minutes left in the game. Bailey to Gannon along the baseline, drops it to McQueen. Charles rejected.
McQueen does a great job saving it, and Valvano wants him to run some time right now. He's in there twirling his hand, which means they're delay game. They're going to get into a little delay right here.
The clock is off. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left. Michael Jordan is fouled out.
Not only has Michael Jordan fouled out, and he can't believe it as he waves his head. That's the second time against this club he's fouled out. There he is right there, driving the offensive player. Not an intelligent play there at all by Michael, but he is a sophomore, and he's a great player and just a super young man, and he's definitely one of America's premier players. Today, he just did not have a Michael Jordan game. But you know, you don't want to foul Terry Gannon, and there's Dean right now, a little upset.
He has lost Michael Jordan for the final 3 minutes and 42 seconds. Also puts him in a shooting situation, 1-1 in Gannon, who is an excellent foul shooter. 96% goes to the line.
Well, he might be the best in America. He just does not attempted enough attempts. I don't know if you have it exactly there. I believe it's something like 47 for 49.
The first one rolls in. Gannon from Joliet, Illinois, has 6 points.
Well, I'm going to look it up if we can find it here. They do not have it on the stat sheet that I'm looking at, John, but I believe it was something like 47 for 49 attempts.
Gannon hits 2 here. His team up by 5, 69-64.
Well, up by 5, and during winning time, you like to have the great one on the floor. Michael Jordan has become an assistant coach here right now, sitting next to Dean Smith.
Pat Doherty will take it in. Goes to Brad Doherty. He's fouled by McQueen. Cozell has picked up his 3rd personal foul.
I got a feeling right now that North Carolina State's people smell victory. Oh, he said, I got all ball. Cozell, 45, with his 3rd personal, said, I got all ball. He's done a real solid job down the stretch. Look at Valvano. He feels good. I know he does. He's got that $1 million feeling right now. Look at him. They're all looking at you in New York, Jimmy. Go ahead. We got the camera on you.
Doherty has 12. He's hit 5 out of 6, or checking 4 out of 6 from the line. Now 5 out of 7. 13-point game for Brad. Missed the second one. Perkins cannot get it back. Now we'll see the pressure from North Carolina. It's a 4-point lead for North Carolina State. 3 minutes, 15 seconds left. Lowe against Hunter. They trap him. Gannon has it to Bailey, who's playing with 4 fouls. Right at midcourt. The foul is going to be called on Hunter, who went over the top of Sidney Lowe.
They're trying to extend defensively. They're trapping right now defensively. There's the anticipation by Hunter, and he just climbs his back.
2:57 to play.
Well, you know, State does not have a great shooting percentage from the free throw line as a team, 68%. But in this case, when you're talking a delay game, their guards are excellent free throw shooters. So with Lowe and Gannon most likely going to handle the ball a majority of the time, these kids are really pretty good free throw shooters. I like to think 96% for one and in the 70s for another makes them quite a threat.
Well, Lowe has hit 6 in a row this afternoon, make it 7, nothing but net. A new career high for him, 24 points.
This is where you win so many games. Come on, Jimmy, give us a little dance on the sideline. Get the mustard out, a little shtick right now, a little hot dog, a little Hollywood.
2 minutes, 57 seconds remaining. That one misses. Doherty rebounds. 5-point lead for State. Back comes Carolina in a hurry.
Remember, the 3-point play still is in effect, even though the clock is off.
Hale has it.
Hale's not a threat from out here, John. They'll play off of him.
Matt Doherty is. Got it.
And they'll call a timeout immediately. Dean is a master at using the clock and milking it down the stretch. He'll take a game like this, 2 minutes, and drag it out for a half an hour.
2 minutes and 38 seconds left at the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia. It's North Carolina State leading by 2, but we still have, as Dick Vitale pointed out, plenty of basketball left. We'll be back. It's a 2-point ball game here The Wolfpack fans from North Carolina State standing, their team leading by a pair. Jim Valvano trying to win this semifinal and take his team to the championship, maybe also lock up the NCAA spot. You talked to Dick about the hot shooting guards and their ability from the foul line. Who do you foul in this situation?
Well, basically, looking at the team right on the floor now, you would have to go at a kid like Lorenzo Charles and make him make it down the stretch. He's a 67% shooter, and Cozell McQueen is another. But they took McQueen out, and they're playing with 3 guards on the floor with Gannon, Wittenberg, and Lowe right now in a 4-corner attack. This is definitely a North Carolina 4-corner attack that Dean Smith used to run to perfection with Phil Ford at the controls, and nobody's ever ran it better than Phil Ford. He was just like automatic in the middle of it.
Clock running down to 2 minutes and 16 seconds.
I really believe you got a double team and really put the pressure on Charles as soon as he touches the ball.
Well, remember, Michael Jordan, who is so great at stealing, is not in the lineup. He is fouled out. Here's Lowe, who's had a great ball game. 24 points for him.
They're really using that high post area, sliding one of their guards in that area.
Wittenberg now. Gannon, they try to trap him. They do.
Well, he's in a perfect trapping area. That's where you'd like to apply the trap, on the sideline. Jimmy would rather see the ball in the middle of the floor.
Clock is down to 1:49 now.
You know, it's easy to say foul a kid like Lorenzo Charles, but he hasn't touched the basketball, and it's very difficult.
Now Hale has fouled the wrong man in Gannon.
That is really not intelligent again, basketball. You know that Gannon is like automatic on that free throw line. I mean, if you talk about automatic, and Dean's upset about that, he knows you don't want to foul him.
He's going to bring his big guy, Brad Doherty, back in the lineup. Now McQueen comes in and Wittenberg goes out. The coaching wheels are really turning now.
Well, they're going on the offensive, defensive end of it right now. You get McQueen in for some rebounding and to play on the defensive end, and they'll bring Wittenberg in when they get the basketball.
1:49 left. Gannon misses.
Well, he finally missed one. I guess percentages, maybe the kid was smart. Said, hey, it's due. He's due with like 47 out of 49 to miss one.
Now North Carolina, the clock counting down toward 1:37, a chance to tie it. Perkins. They'll run an offense. They'll get a good shot. You can count on that.
They got to go to Perkins right now. They got to get it in Sam's hands. He's got McQueen playing him, and that should be a no contest. You should foul him most likely if he gets it down low.
They haven't been able to get it inside yet. McQueen is really all over Perkins.
I mean, he is hooking him, and he's got him grabbed.
Lowe trying to steal. Touched the inline. Sidney Lowe almost pulled off a great play.
Dean wants a timeout right now, and I don't blame that North Carolina bunch being a little upset because Perkins was definitely attacked down in the post area.
McQueen was all over him. We have a 2-point ball game as they go inside. What you really missed was the hammer. Yeah, his foot is on the white. You can see it. He was out of bounds. It is 70-68. 1:10 seconds left. We are headed to the wire. North Carolina State with 4 timeouts remaining. UNC has 2 timeouts remaining. It's been a good one from start to finish.
Well, you know, North Carolina State does a great job of changing defenses during their timeouts. They won the game yesterday against Wake Forest, where Wake did an excellent job in their delay game for about 3.5 minutes, and then all of a sudden, with about 20 seconds on the clock, North Carolina State, with a timeout, changes defenses on the floor to a half-court 2-3, and they steal a lob pass and beat a tough, gritty Wake Forest team who lost a heartbreaker. Don't be surprised for a little zone-up action now by Jimmy as opposed to his man-to-man as another timeout was just called.
We will stay right here, take you inside the huddle of the Tar Heels and the Wolfpack. Strategy going on. You know, sometimes I wonder, Dick, if they really have that much to say to these guys that they have to call 2 or 3 timeouts in a row.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been in that huddle a few times in my life, I guess, 20 years of coaching on a scholastic, collegiate, and a professional level, and I can tell you, there is some real wheels that turn in there. These guys earn their money right here because any kind of crucial mistake from the coaching sideline strategically can hurt, but let's not forget it. We got 10 human bodies on the floor, and those kids perform it. I've always said coaches get too much credit in victory and too much blame in defeat.
Well, we are not through. We have 1:10 here, and then we'll be back tomorrow, Sunday, March 13th. Join us at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock out on the West Coast at the Omni in Atlanta. Dick Vitale will still be here. He'll be here with Jim Simpson to bring you the Atlantic Coast Conference Championship game the winner moving on to the NCAA tournament, and at this point, it could still be any one of 4 teams playing tomorrow.
Well, you know, John, everybody's probably wondering, will they go for a 3-point attempt to try to get a 1-point lead? Whatever comes in their offensive set, if Braddock's got, for example, the opportunity, as we look at the brain trust for Jimmy Valvano, naturally he's going to shoot that 3-point play because it only is a 17'9" shot, and that's part of their offense right now. But they're not going to just specifically go for that. I think they're going to try to isolate and get Perkins the ball.
Braddock has only 1 3-pointer this afternoon. Brad Doherty.
Man-to-man defense right now. You got McQueen playing Perkins. They're going to try and lock Perkins down low and reverse the ball to him.
Steve Hale, a freshman out there in a critical situation. McQueen is playing in front of Perkins, who does get the ball now.
Now he's going to slide down low. There it is, right there. That's the play they wanted. If it doesn't go down, they were there. And there's the tip.
Brad Doherty picks it up. He has 15 points.
Well, that's garbage basketball. Credit that man right there. That's why he is, without question, along with Bobby Knight, two of the great coaches ever to don a sideline in all of collegiate basketball.
70 with 33 seconds to play. Valvano wants a timeout. He gets it.
Well, Jimmy gets the timeout, and he's just going to isolate again, get his guards to go one-on-one, spread out the floor, run it down to the last 5 seconds, and Jimmy Valvano right now is still in good shape.
Each team has 2 timeouts remaining. Let's take another look at that play that tied the game.
Oh, it makes you feel good when you sit here and you call that they're going to go down low to him, and they do. But there's Doherty now, goes up for the tip after the miss by Sam Perkins.
Well, this freshman who's now finished his first year at North Carolina, obviously you've seen him enough times, Dick. He's starting to get that court sense of being able to be in the right spot at the right time. He has 15 points, and he scored a big basket here.
Well, he's had the luxury of playing with such great performers in Perkins and Jordan, and I really believe that he's going to be a special player. He's going to be one of their great ones by his junior or senior year. He needs another year of development. Remember this, maturity is so important, and we're still talking about a youngster who's 17 years of age, and that's amazing, completing his whole freshman year, and he's still 17.
Each team with 2 timeouts remaining, each team with plenty of fire left in the fans here at the Omni, the Tar Heels and the Wolfpack. This is what we came to see.
I tell you, John, it's been a beauty, and it's been a pleasure working with you here. And I know it's the last time we hook up together this year. Until we meet again, let's hope next year. I hope you have a great situation down there in baseball with the Pittsburgh Pirates where you call the action today.
Thank you very much, Dick, and I wish you best of luck the rest of the way, because I know you've got a lot of basketball left, including the game that follows this one. Save something up for Georgia Tech and Virginia, okay?
Well, I tell you, that one there should be interesting. We've got Virginia with the great Ralph Sampson against a tough, gritty team coached by a fiery Bobby Crimmins.
70, 29 seconds left. Who will win? Well, we'll know. When we'll know is the problem.
Well, I know one thing. Dean Smith would like to have Michael Jordan on the floor right now, because here's where he usually pulls his Miracle Mike act. Man-to-man defense. They're going to open up the floor, look for the drive, penetration by, I would think they'd like to get Sidney Lowe on a drive to the basket.
This is Wittenberg with the basketball.
Where he'd either score on the drive or get fouled.
10 seconds left.
Braddock's got his work. You look at it. There he is, isolated with him, one-on-one.
Low. His shot is blocked. Carolina has it with 3 seconds. They call timeout. 2 seconds left. Exactly as you called it again, Dick.
Well, you know, you get a feel as a former coach for people, and I've had the opportunity to watch both these guys work, and people out there say, what does Dick Vitale have their scouting report? I just could feel they were going to isolate him. Good move by Jimmy Valvano, too. Just a tough break on Sidney Lowe's part. The ball is deflected. Should have had the timeout immediately. They knocked off 2 seconds by trying to run it up the floor. But now Jimmy Valvano's got to decide defensively, do I play head-to-head man-to-man, or do I zone up? I believe he's going to put pressure and play good, strong man-to-man, not to give him the open jump shot.
Let's give some credit to Sam Perkins on that last play. He moved in enough to take part of the lane away from Lowe as he tried to drive to the basket. Forced him maybe to start in the air a little bit sooner than he wanted to.
Yes, good recognition by you right there, John. No question that Perkins did a solid job. Now the question is, what does Dean do? We got 2 seconds. But you know what's really not noticeable now? You don't know if that 2 is closer to the 3-second mark, if it's 2 seconds, 0.8 tenths or whatever, or it's down closer to the 1 second mark. There's still plenty of time to get a good shot off right here.
Based on the way the clock was ticking down, I would say, and it's hard to believe we're talking about fractions of a second, but I would say they've got probably close to a full 2.
Well, I think they'd look for possibly the long jump shot from Jimmy Braddock. who has 20 to 21-foot range as a shooter. Sidney Lowe's got to forget it. He's still talking to the official about it and just got to go out and play solid defense. He's been an outstanding performer here, as he's been throughout his entire career for North Carolina State. Look at Jimmy smiling, relaxing. He's trying to be a little politician now. You see, you got to put all that charm on. And that's one of Faison talking to another. Valvano to 40, and you know they're talking in some good Italian language.
Well, you know, there'll come another game and another time, so you got to have them. 70-70 with 2 seconds left. Carolina will have the basketball when we come back. This is what the ACC tournament is all about.
Well, I told it to Bob James yesterday, the commissioner. I says, Robert, it's my first opportunity to be part of ACC action, and it's everything people say. The emotion, the excitement, the hotel lobbies, the whole scene is just a great, great spectacle.
Matt Doherty will key the inbounds play.
Doherty's going to throw. Look for, I think, Braddock curling off the double screen. Sidney Lowe should let him go away. He screens and then pops back out.
Perkins.
There's Perkins.
At the buzzer.
Oh, it had it. It was there. It was there. They got it to Sam. I'll tell you, it was there. And not good enough. And now it's overtime. Hey,
he rattled the hoop with this one. Take a look. Interesting play.
Well, there's Doherty throwing a baseball pass, and there's Perkins coming off the screen. That's 3-point in the NBA. That's way behind the circle. I mean, that is in and out. Hey, do we get overtime pay? I better call up Scott and Connell. We're working all these overtimes, John. I know I've had 2 now. Take another look at it. There's the baseball pass. There's the jumper. Perkins squares. He has time to let it go. I mean, that is absolutely on. You know, you can talk about edges right now. Who would have the advantage? Who would have the edge? You'd still have to give the edge right here, I would say, to North Carolina State because of one simple fact, that Michael Jordan is out of the game and on the sideline.
Overtime this year for North Carolina. This is number 3. They lost to St. John's to open the season in overtime. Then they went to triple overtime to beat Tulane. That was their first victory of the season. So the Tar Heels, no strangers to overtime. North Carolina State, according to our notes, has not been in overtime this year.
There's another look right now. Look at Dean's reaction. Look at Dean's reaction. He was trying to talk that one in. That's Eddie Fogler, his assistant. Dean has such loyalty from his staff. John Guthridge and Eddie Fogler have been with him for years.
16 for Guthridge, 10 for Eddie Fogler, 5 years now for Roy Williams.
Well, before that, he had a fellow out of staff, a guy I really respect, Johnny Lutz, who went out to University of Florida as a head coach and is now back as the assistant athletic director at North Carolina. And one of the sharp minds, and he credits so much to Dean Smith for what he learned about the game of basketball. And that's Valvano's brain trust. Tommy Abatamarco on his right, an excellent recruiter, a guy that did a great job recruiting Del Curry and Bob Beecher for Charlie Moyer's club, Virginia Tech.
And we will be naming a Vitalis MVP. Let's say right now we have co-winners in Perkins and Lowe.
I would say whoever wins the game, that player will get it, because Perkins and Lowe have definitely been the stars here.
North Carolina controls. We're in overtime. 4 minutes, 55 seconds. Shot clock is on, but it'll only be on for a few seconds.
Man-to-man, they're communicating on defense, switching on the screens inside.
Matt Doherty to Perkins. Back to Matt Doherty at the top of the circle. Pass is knocked away. It was not a good pass. He tried to force it. Perkins from 3 points. Won't go. Follow shot is good.
And there's Doherty, his ever-present body in the right position. Good awareness on the floor. His junior year, he's going to really, I think, put it together to be a dominating inside player.
He has 17 points this afternoon. We have 4 minutes and 15 seconds left in overtime. Low shot is blocked by Doherty.
Scored a basket. Scored a basket. He got that definitely on its downward flight. Tom Frame was right on that call. Good backdoor cut. There's the entry by Gannon to the post. Bailey with the backdoor cut. There's the jumper. There's Doherty coming over. You can't see it from that angle, but he definitely got that on its downward flight.
72-72. Sidney Lowe has 26 points, and that is a career high for him. 4:05 left in overtime. How about Sam Perkins, who hasn't played in a week?
There's some nervous people right now down in Raleigh and down at Chapel Hill. I know my friend Herbie Jacobs at the Holiday Inn down at Chapel Hill is sweating it out.
It goes.
He feels a lot better right there. I know he's jumping out of the seat as Valvano begins to sweat. The perspiration comes down his back. Yes, Sam Perkins. Oh, how nice it's to have an All-American. How sweet it is with the left-handed bank jumper. And Joe Cordy waves it down and says, count it.
23 points for Sam Perkins. 74-72. Sam with a chance to increase the lead to 3. Both McQueen and Bailey now have 4 personal fouls.
John, I'm going to ask you, Sam Perkins look healthy to you?
Looks pretty good to me.
I tell you, it doesn't look like there's anything wrong with him right now.
Well, he can play for anybody. 3:45 to play in overtime. 3-point Carolina lead.
Anytime, any place.
Cozell McQueen to Gannon. And Jim Valvano's going to take a timeout. Well, let's talk about Brad Doherty a little bit. He has 17 points. His career high is 18. He has 11 rebounds. That is very close to his career high. He has put together some kind of game as he winds up his freshman year at North Carolina. Timeout situation is this. State with 2. Carolina with 2.
Remember, no clock in effect. It goes in effect for the first minute in the overtime, and after that, it is out of it. So right now, we have no clock. There's Terry Holland right now, and he looks relaxed, calm, cool. The young man in front of him is Billy Packer's son. He goes to Clemson University. He's working down here.
Well, he can look calm. He's not in overtime.
That's right.
His team won by 43 points last night. Wittenberg with it.
I'll tell you this, don't underestimate Duke University, and Mike Krzyzewski's got a program in the right direction with all their great young kids.
Lowe gets the baseline, then dishes off. Back to Bailey.
Man-to-man defense right here.
Bailey will take it up. Perkins blocks it, gets it back.
Okay, Perkins just right now is showing you why he's a class All-American player. Does it on the offensive end with the great three-point play. Comes back on the defensive end with the shot block. The kid is doing it all.
Now they will spread it out. Carolina leading by 3. Less than 3 minutes left in overtime. Wittenberg trying to foul and finally does.
You know, when they had Phil Ford, John, I had the opportunity to play against him. Look, Valvano right now is furious. I mean, he's got it all going now. Now comes he is really furious. He's demonstrating that nice, calm Italian temper right there.
Well, let's see what he's upset about.
Bailey right there with a little head fake, and Perkins gets all ball right there.
He went back up and retrieved it also.
He's 6'9", but he's really like 7 feet with the length of those arms.
Brad Doherty has only 1 basket in this half, a 3-pointer.
John, I was saying earlier that when he had Phil Ford playing at that 4-corner attack in the middle, we played against them when I had one of my great teams with John Long, Terry Tyler, and Terry Jurod, and they came in with Kupchak and Lagarde and Walter Davis. Once they get the lead and it's like 8 minutes to go, I was ready to wave the white handkerchief because you couldn't beat them in that 4-corner.
2 from the line for Matt Doherty, 12 in the game. And now it's a 5-point Carolina lead. Wittenberg checks in, McQueen goes out.
Remember this, they can get back in the game really quick with the 3-point play, especially Wittenberg and Gannon. And Wittenberg is really overdue. He's had such a poor night shooting the 3-point attempt, and he's a great shooter.
Still 2 minutes and 54 seconds left. Little question about Wittenberg. Did he check in or did he not check in? Who's in the ball game? That's the question. George McLean, number 12, is up. Wittenberg is standing over there at the scorer's table. Dean Smith is trying to direct traffic, straighten it all out.
I think Dean might be stating that they already handed the ball to Sidney Lowe at the time that he was whistled in.
McLean is in the lineup, number 12, a freshman from Rocky Mount. 5-point lead for Carolina, 2:54 to play in overtime.
McLean had spinal meningitis this year, and that really hurt his freshman season. He came from Rocky Mount High School. That's the same high school that produced Phil Ford, and as I said earlier, Buck Williams, the great power forward for the New Jersey Nets.
McLean with it, 2 minutes, 43 seconds to play in overtime. Here's Charles. He's fouled. Perkins will pick up the personal foul. Sam, number 3 on him.
You take a look at the entry right down inside to Charles right here. And I don't know.
He didn't get much, did he?
I didn't see any foul right there, but I'm sure he got his hand in because he didn't object to the call at all. Look at Jimmy. He's going to cheer him on. He wouldn't allow him to quit. He will not allow his kids to quit. The guy is a fighter.
Charles has hit 6 in a row today. He has 14 points. His career high is 15, so he could go over that right now. Also get his team back within a 3-point field goal. It does not fall. Brad Daugherty is immediately fouled by Gannon.
You know, he's leading the cheers on the sideline. It's really beautiful to see is the All-American Michael Jordan, because he knows that he, didn't perform to his kind of ability. And when you have that great talent and that great ability, people expect to see it all the time. And I guess that's what makes it so tough for players like Ralph Sampson and Michael Jordan. People expect to see greatness every time, and it's just not going to happen.
McQueen back in the lineup as Daugherty goes to the line. This young man has played very, very well today. Missed the foul shot. Perkins touched it last. State will have it with 2 minutes, 36 seconds left in overtime.
There's plenty of time.
Leading by 5.
Plenty of time, John, and they got to really right now try to get a screen. They got to get a screen for Terry Gannon and get him to shoot that 3-point attempt. And Wittenberg's on the floor, who definitely is a 3-point shooter.
And you also have Sidney Lowe, who has the basketball right now. Sidney with 26 points. Down low, Charles lays it in.
Remember this now, 1 3-point play away from a tie ball game here.
Daugherty is fouled by Wittenberg. That's 3 on Derek. So here it is.
There's Matt Daugherty taking the ball, going up the sideline. There's Wittenberg reaching in. It's a great tackle right there. USFL football. Herschel Walker gets blasted.
To the line is Daugherty. He's 3 for 3 today.
He's a good clutch free throw shooter. Made 2 big ones with 3 seconds to go to beat Wake Forest earlier in the year. And that started the demise of Wake Forest, because at that time they were like 13-2.
He has 13 points in the game. Trying to stretch that lead back to 5. Does. 5 in a row from him at the foul line. 79, 74. Now they double team in backcourt. Lowe brings it up with 2 minutes and 16 seconds to play. McQueen is fouled by Daugherty.
I can't understand those fouls right there to stop the clock. I just don't understand reaching in and fouling unnecessarily rather than letting him run some time down.
Right, all you want to do in that situation is keep the pressure on him, keep him away from the basket, right?
And there's no doubt about the foul right there. He's 30 feet from the basket and he cracks him. Now, I know he's not really a good free throw shooter. It might turn out to be a plus because Kozel's only shooting 57% for the year.
Missed it badly. And then commits a foul. So McQueen is gone. Kozel will leave. And that leaves Jim Valvano scratching his head.
Well, he's a little perplexed right now. Had this game right in their grasp, and it's starting to get away, especially when Jordan went out of the game. They had a really think victory. That's Kozel McQueen. He's a sophomore. I really believe he's getting better with each game in terms of his agility on the floor. He's got to work on a program, jump rope, weight program, a little touch program, getting a basketball and shooting with a little touch all summer. And I really think he's going to be an improved player for Valvano next year.
Dean Smith, the balance of his team. He won yesterday. Perkins did not play at all. Michael Jordan has been in foul trouble, did not score much in the first half. And they're trying to win again today.
Well, you know, there's so many great high school players in the state of North Carolina, and his tradition goes on and on. Right now, there are 3 juniors. I'm going to throw some names at you. Ranzino Smith out of Chapel Hill, a great guard. Danny Manning, 6'11", an unbelievable talent. And another kid by the name of Chris Washburn at Fort Union Military Academy, who's 6'11", and he's from North Carolina. And they tell me that Carolina is going to be in a hunt for all 3.
Misses the second. That's his first miss of the afternoon. 6-point lead. Now remember, that's only 2 3-point shots with still 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in the game.
Right there.
The foul is on Matt Daugherty. He picks up his 4th. 2:05 to play. Still plenty of time, Dick.
You know how long it takes for 2 minutes here? If State makes these free throws, they're going to really cause Dean to have a little concern right here. There's the hook by Daugherty.
Wittenberg will go to the foul line, his first chance of the afternoon. Derek has only 4 points in the game.
He had a tough night out here today. He's a much better performer and player than what we saw on the floor right here, Derek Wittenberg. He made an amazing comeback, too, though, for a kid that had that stress fracture. He came back so quick, had so much guts to want to come back and play.
4-point lead for Carolina. Hunter breaks the press and is fouled. He's grabbed by Charles, and they'll give him 2 shots.
Oh, that's got to be deliberate. In fact, I really believe to take the officials off the hook, I'd like to see the last 4 minutes of a game and then eliminate fouling all over the place. All fouls are 2-shot fouls.
Not a bad idea. 2 minutes exactly remaining in overtime. North Carolina leading state 80-76.
A lot of pressure right now on the freshman, Curtis Hunter. There he is. He gets tackled from behind. And that would have been a great football play, but unfortunately, this is round ball.
Hunter, who had 10 yesterday in an easy victory over Clemson, does not have a point today.
94% on that free throw line. That's not bad shooting. Now, I know he hasn't had a lot of attempts.
Stretching the lead back to 5, looking for 6.
He was out quite a long time with a stress fracture also. Missed about 6 to 7 weeks of action. Curtis did in his freshman year.
He came back just as Buzz Peterson went down, and he came back just in time. 6-point lead for the Tar Heels. The Wolfpack with less than 2. Low, too hard. Gannon goes for the rebound. He's fouled by Perkins. Perkins with 4.
Well, he converts these 2. We got a 4-point game again. There's the jumper right there by Lowe, and here comes Gannon for the rebound. And there's Perkins right over his back. He says, what is this little guy doing under me? I have no idea he's supposed to be here.
Checking in once again is George McLean. Sidney Lowe will sit down.
I'm going to make our producer, John Wilhack, really happy. He loves Syracuse since she's a Syracuse graduate. But Sam Perkins, as we look at Lowe right there, Sam Perkins came very close to going to Syracuse, as did Sidney Green. If they would have gotten one of those 2 to go with their great trio in terms of Brune, Red Brune, and Eric Sanifer, and Leo Routens, Jimmy Boeheim's club right now would be a real threat for the NCAA.
Gannon hits both. He has 9 in the game. Pressure from State. They're down by 4. Braddock into forecourt quickly. They try to team him up back there. Can't do it. Gannon fouls Hunter. Still a minute 43 to play. We'll be here for a while.
Well, that'll be a 1-on-1, but basically there's no doubt that's a deliberate foul right there, and that's the fouls I'm talking about in the last 4 minutes of a game. I think they should all be 2-shot fouls. Take the pressure off the official in determining whether or not it's deliberate.
Hunter 2 for 2 today. There's only 2 points in the ball game. A freshman at the line. In and out. State has it. Here comes McLean pushing it up. Wittenberg hits a 3-pointer.
Well, I'll tell you, he found the rhythm right there, and he finally converts one. Couldn't get a bigger one.
The basket counts. The timeout is charged to North Carolina State. 82-81. Don't leave us. A minute 31 to go. We'll be back to the Omni in Atlanta. Dick Vitale said it. No lead is safe in the ACC with the 3-point rule. North Carolina by 1 over North Carolina State. Wittenberg from downtown. He has only 9 points in the game, but he has come through here with a big 3-pointer.
Well, you know, I got the feeling that the North Carolina kids in the last 2.5 minutes, once they got that 5 or 6 point lead, it looked to me like they thought it was, you know, all over, that the game has been finished, completed, and they don't seem to have that same rhythm that they demonstrated to get that lead. Somehow they got to find that kind of flow and that kind of tempo, and I look for Sam Perkins to have to really take charge again, as he's done down the stretch so many times.
Keep in mind, as Dean Smith looks on, that Perkins has 4 fouls, so does Matt Doherty. Perkins will get the basketball. To Braddock, a minute and 30 seconds left.
Remember, no clock again. We keep repeating that. The clock is turned off now to 30-second clock.
Braddock running the offense. Fouled from behind by Gannon. Gannon going for the steal, almost had it.
And their staff is hilarious right there. You know, you have a little... There we take a look at it right here. There's Jimmy Braddock. There's Gannon from behind. As soon as you put that hand there, John, I mean, you've been around basketball a number of years. You know the whistle's going to be blown.
9 times out of 10, you're right. But Braddock will go to the line. excellent foul shooter, almost 86%. This is his first chance today. He has not scored in the second half nor the overtime.
See, now if you were locked in that little gym years ago, and he misses a big free throw right here.
Here comes Derek Wittenberg with 1 minute and 15 seconds. He calls time. 1 minute 16 to play.
I was going to say right there, John, if you were locked in a gym, in terms of you didn't have the visibility that you have right now and the exposure, these officials make the call right now.
We will be back with more overtime. A couple of big misses by Dean Smith's team at the foul line. One by Jimmy Braddock, another by Matt Doherty, have kept Jim Valvano and the Wolfpack in this one. Three-pointer from Derek Wittenberg, and now State with 1 minute 16 to play has the ball and a chance to win it all.
Well, you know, that's what makes this game so absolutely crazy from a coaching standpoint. Braddock's an 84% shooter, and if Dean Smith could pick a kid who'd like to shoot the free throw, he probably would pick Braddock.
Bailey to Lowe. Let's see if they take a little time off.
They'll spread out the floor and use some clock, playing for the high percentage shot right now. They can't afford to have a bad shot.
You can see the time counting down 1 minute. Wittenberg along the baseline, reverses and scores.
Well, Wittenberg just blew by the defense right there. Hale was no match for him as he took it right to the goal and laid it up. Steve Hale came off the bench. He is a freshman against a senior. That wouldn't happen next year or the year after, but right now he...
Perkins off the board, won't fall. Follow no good. State has a rebound.
And then a foul by Perkins, and I believe he's gone.
He is gone.
The tide has turned, Mr. Sanders.
37 seconds left. North Carolina State leading by 1, and here it is.
There's Perkins getting good position inside, except he has a bad angle on the shot, so he lays it off the glass hard, and then there's the reach in, and there's no doubt about it. And there's a young man that played quite a game here today.
He is fouled out with 24 points. 7 consecutive points here.
Look at this drive by Wittenberg. He just leaves Braddock, Doherty, Hale. Nobody comes over, and he's got an unmolested layup. And I'll tell you, Wittenberg down the stretch, the big three-pointer, then the drive. He redeemed himself from a very poor basketball game and now has become one of the stars of stars.
North Carolina State now.
They're jumping with joy right now in Raleigh, North Carolina. You better believe that.
They were down by 6 in overtime. They've scored 8, 9 in a row.
Well, you know, when you miss 3 front ends of one-on-ones, Hunter did, Brad Doherty, and Braddock, that makes it kind of tough to get a victory, and that's really not I'm not going to use that word, but that really is not basketball by Dean Smith's club. They shoot 74%.
Hunter's shot goes. It's a one-point ball game again. Timeout, Carolina. Hunter gets it to fall, and they finally break the string. North Carolina and Dean Smith are up 82-76. It's now 85-76. 9 straight points in overtime by North Carolina State. The main reason is the missed one-and-ones on the front end.
Well, that wins and loses games so many times, and North Carolina in Dean Smith's career has won so many basketball games by effective free throw shooting. What really makes it tough right now, and North Carolina needs a miracle, they have their 2 blue chippers, 2 thoroughbreds, Rolls Royces sitting on the sideline as assistant coaches in Sam Perkins and Michael Jordan. She's cheering her heart out, Sam. I'll tell you, she's cheering for her man Sam Perkins, but he's not on the floor, John Sanders.
Neither is Michael Jordan. The 2 All-Americans are gone. Let's watch Derek Wittenberg. This is an All-American play here.
Well, there's Wittenberg. He just goes by 3 defensive players. They all stand and applaud and cheer and watch and say, wow, look at this. And Dean says, hey, are you guys photographers taking pictures? Let's play defense.
State is out of timeouts. Dean Smith with 1 remaining. Sam Perkins stands behind. Nothing more he can do except cheer. Michael Jordan is also fouled out. State trying to reach the finals of the ACC tournament. There's Michael against the winner of the game to follow. Stay right where you are because we have Georgia Tech and Virginia coming up. State by 1 with 20 seconds to play.
I tell you, this is worse than coaching sometimes on the sideline here. I'm emotionally drained just doing a game here, John, for 2 hours and change, and I know you're sweating it out because you got a flight.
Well, you've got to get it pumped up for game number 2 also, Dick.
Well, Jim Simpson will get me pumped up, the pro that he is, the class performer. I know he will not allow me to get down. And you know I'll never get down when it's basketball.
Hale commits the foul. One second went off the clock.
They're face guarding right here. There's the inbounds, and he hooks Wittenberg.
That will bring Brad Doherty back into the lineup. Cecil Exum sits down. Wittenberg goes to the line. He has hit 5 in a row at the foul line. He has 13 points in the game. He's been the key in overtime.
Well, there's no question he's been the key there, and he's also locking up a nice bid for the NCAA tournament right now for North Carolina State.
He's got it, nothing but net, 5 in a row.
Well, you know that committee meets tomorrow, headed by Dave Gavitt, the commissioner in a big East Conference, along with Vic Bubis and David Hart. One thing about those gentlemen, I'll guarantee you this. They'll have some people complain down the stretch, as there will be every year, but they'll do an honest job and an objective job.
15 seconds, three-pointer, Braddock, no good. Follow. Bailey has it for State.
Well, there's victory right now, Raleigh, North Carolina.
The clock has been stopped in backcourt. Valvano wants to know why. Foul on Steve Hale.
Look at Jimmy Valvano. He's going absolutely bananas. He smells that victory. He knows it. Get the mustard out. Get the Hollywood. Come on, Jimmy. There's the jumper by Braddock, shooting the three-point attempt. It's off the iron.
And there's the foul.
Yep, there's the foul.
You can hardly hear it. They have put 10 seconds on the clock now.
I know Jimmy Valvano's papa, Rocco, a well-known official for many years in collegiate basketball, is watching in New York. Look at Valvano right now. I tell you, he's a sight to behold.
10 seconds left. There's our Vitalis MVP. It was low in his outstanding play. We'll give an honorable mention to Derek Wittenberg for his performance in the overtime today.
Well, I tell you, got to give a real honorable mention performance to the entire North Carolina State team for having the guts to come back and win this. But I agree with you. Sidney Lowe was the star. He set the stage in the first half.
Steve Hale. Bailey fouled. 3 seconds left. Matt Doherty is fouled out, and this place is bedlam.
Look at the love there. Look at the joy, the jubilation of collegiate basketball. Look at Valvano now raising a fist to the crowd. I'll tell you, he'll have all the adjectives flowing. He's going to have all these writers talking to himself as he'll be using his choice New York Stengelese.
Tim Valvano, for the second straight time, is going to beat Dean Smith. North Carolina State coming home a winner 2 out of 3 against the Tar Heels this year.
Well, that gives them a little respect down there at Tobacco Road down in North Carolina.
A lot of people gave up on that team at midseason when Wittenberg went out. They said that's it, but they have hung tough.
Well, if they had Wittenberg all season long, they would have posted 23 victories at least this year.
Dean Smith will lose for the 7th time this season, but he will not be through, even though that's the end of his ACC tournament time. Clock will wind down now. It is over. North Carolina State has defeated North Carolina.
There's a happy Jimmy Valvano, and the dream party that everybody was dreaming about for tomorrow has been ruined. It'll be the winner of Virginia and Georgia Tech against North Carolina State.
Sidney Lowe, our MVP, he had 26 points. Derek Wittenberg, the hero in overtime, with 15. Michael Jordan fouled out with 13. Brad Doherty had 17. Sam Perkins with 24. Matt Doherty had 15. Final again. North Carolina State 91. North Carolina 84. It is final. The Wolfpack has upset the Tar Heels.